Makita just had one of the biggest tool launches I've seen from them in years. 5 of these are genuinely on another level. But one of them, I already regret buying it. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Let's go. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which of Makita's new 2026 tools are actually worth putting in your shop. The real specs behind each one, not marketing fluff, not some hyped up press release language, but the actual numbers that matter and which one I'd tell you to skip and put that money somewhere else instead. Before we get started, if you'd like to check out any of these tools, links are in the description, the pinned comment, and if you're watching on TV, just scan that QR code with your phone. Takes you right to my website while you keep watching. Now, Makita's had a stacked year. They've been rolling new stuff into the 40-volt XGT platform almost every single month, and most of it's actually useful for a shop like mine, not just job site stuff for contractors running crews all day. I went through everything that actually landed this year and picked 5 that I think genuinely matter if you're doing woodworking or running a small shop out of your garage, plus one that Makita's hyping hard right now that I don't think belongs on your bench at all. Let's start with the one that surprised me the most. First up, Makita's new Flagship impact driver. This thing puts out 2,000 40-inch pounds of max torque. For reference, a typical impact driver on the market is putting out somewhere around 1,500 to 2,000 inch pounds. So Makita's not just competing here, they're pushing right past the top of the range that most other brands are sitting at. It's got 4 speed and tightening modes, it's brushless, fully digital controls, and it only weighs about 4 pounds. That's light for what it's putting out. I've used impact drivers before that hit hard on paper, but feel like a brick in your hand after an hour of actual use. This one doesn't do that to you. You can run this thing all afternoon and your wrist isn't going to hate you by the time you're done. Now that's impressive on its own, but here's where it gets interesting. Makita also just released a new auto-feed screwdriver, the XRF-04. This is built for drywall and decking work, running at 4,500 revolutions per minute and rated to drive up to 2,670 screws on a single charge. Think about that number for a second. 2,670 screws before you even have to think about swapping a battery. It handles screws anywhere from 1 inch all the way up to 2 3/16 inches, and it's under 5 pounds, so it's not going to wear you out over a long day. If you've ever hand-driven a stack of deck screws one at a time with a regular drill, you already know exactly why that number matters. That's not a small convenience. That's hours of your day back. Every single project you use it on. I've built enough decks and subfloors over the years to know that the screw gun is one of those tools nobody gets excited about until they don't have one. You just grind through it with a regular impact driver, stopping every few minutes to grab another screw out of the box, and by the end of the day your hand's cramped up and you've still got half the job left to go. A tool that just keeps feeding screws to you while you keep moving forward changes the whole pace of a project like that. It's not flashy, it's not going to impress anybody scrolling through your feed, but it's the kind of tool that actually saves you real time on the jobs that matter most. So you've got 2 tools here that solve 2 completely different problems really well, but both of them are only as good as what's powering them. And that's where things get better. Or worse, depending on how your wallet's feeling by the end of this video. Because here's the thing Makita didn't make a big deal about in their marketing, but probably should have. They released a new 8.0 amp-hour high-power battery for the 40-volt XGT platform. Same 8.0 amp-hour capacity as the old one, so it's not a bigger, heavier pack, but it delivers up to 35% more power and runs about 30% cooler than the last generation. That doesn't sound flashy until you stop and realize this one battery drops straight into every single tool in the entire XGT lineup. That impact driver I just told you about, the auto-feed screwdriver, your router if you've got one, your track saw, even tools you bought years ago that are still sitting on your shelf, all of it gets a boost from the exact same battery pack. That's the part that changes this from just cool new tools into something actually worth paying attention to as a whole system. It's not just 2 good tools sitting next to each other, it's an entire platform quietly getting stronger underneath everything you already own or might buy into down the road. That's the kind of upgrade you don't see on the box, but you absolutely feel it in the shop. This is honestly the smart move for a brand at this point. Anybody can put out a new tool with a bigger number on the spec sheet and call it a year. What's harder to do, and what actually matters more long-term if you're invested in a battery platform, is making the boring stuff better too. A battery doesn't get a flashy unboxing video. Nobody's excited to talk about a battery pack on its own. But if that pack makes every single tool you own run stronger and cooler, that's the upgrade that actually changes how your whole shop performs day to day, not just how one new tool performs in a review. Now, tool number 4 is one I didn't expect to care about, but I genuinely do. Makita's new GCV14, a compact 40-volt wet-dry vacuum with a 2-gallon tank and a built-in HEPA filter. I know a shop vac doesn't exactly sound exciting compared to a chainsaw or an impact driver, but dust collection is one of those things that separates a good shop from a shop that makes you cough for an hour after you're done working for the day. A cordless option with real suction and true HEPA filtration, where you're not dragging a cord around behind you every time you move to a different corner of the shop, is genuinely useful, especially for smaller shops where every single outlet's already got something plugged into it. So at this point, you've got a stronger motor, faster fastening, and better dust control, all riding on one single battery platform. That's already a strong case for Makita this year on its own. But there's one more tool that made me stop and actually reconsider what a battery-powered tool is even capable of doing anymore. Makita's new 40-volt X GT chainsaw, the 20-inch model. And here's the number that really got me. It cuts up to 25% faster than a 50 cubic centimeter gas chainsaw. Not close to gas power, not almost as good as gas. Faster than it. It's got 3 speed settings ranging from 0 up to about 3,937 feet per minute on the low end, all the way up to 5,700 feet per minute on the high end. An inertia-activated chain brake that stops the chain the instant you finish a cut, and a 5-minute auto power off feature so it's not sitting there draining your battery while it's in the truck bed between jobs. If you've been holding onto a gas saw for years because you didn't think battery tech could actually keep up for real, serious cutting work, this is the one that should finally make you reconsider that for good. That's 5 tools, all backed by real numbers, all genuinely useful, whether you're in the shop or out on the property. But now I've got to tell you about the one I wouldn't recommend you spend your money on. And this is the one Makita's actually pushing pretty hard right now, probably harder than any of the other 5 tools on this list. The 40-volt XGT brushless, cordless edger. On paper, it sounds great. It's putting out power equivalent to a 31 cubic centimeter gas edger, no gas, no pull start, no maintenance headaches, and it's got an open guard design around the 8-inch blade, so it clogs less and gives you a cleaner edge along your driveway or sidewalk than a lot of gas models even manage. Here's my problem with it. It's a genuinely well-built tool. I'm not saying Makita cut corners anywhere on this thing, because they didn't. I'm saying it just doesn't belong on this list for you specifically. If you're watching this channel, you're here for the shop, not the lawn. This is a landscaping tool wearing a woodworking brand's badge, and it's really easy to get pulled into buying it because it shares a battery platform with everything else Makita just released this year. But that's exactly the trap you want to avoid falling into. Don't buy a tool just because it happens to share a battery with tools you actually need in your shop. Buy the tools that solve a problem you actually have, not the ones that just fit neatly into a system you're already invested in. So here's the pattern with Makita this year, and I think it's worth remembering long after this video's over. They're not just adding new tools to the shelf one at a time to chase headlines. They're strengthening the whole platform from the battery up, which means the tools you already own are quietly getting better too, not just the shiny new releases that get all the attention in the ads. That's the smart way to grow a cordless system, and it's worth paying attention to even if you don't end up buying a single new tool from this list this year. If this helped you sort out what's actually worth it and what to skip, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. It genuinely helps this channel keep testing this stuff so you don't have to guess. And if you want to see what to never do with your table saw, because most beginners make this exact mistake without even realizing it, click that box right there. Get you the big old virtual fist bump.